I've called out every single Tom, Dick, and Harry in the scene. I've called out Brett May. I've called out Paul Venis. I've called out Danny Christie. I've called out Luke Dyson. You know, Danny Christie, I've got big respect for him, and I think that he's right. There's a weight category for a reason, and I think that him fighting Decca before as a heavyweight, you know, there was a grudge match there, and there's no grudge between me and that fella. And Paul Venis, unfortunately, he's got a neck injury and he's out. He's injured, and he won't be able to fight anytime soon. Maybe not again, but it sounds really, really bad, and I wish him all the best and a speedy recovery. Decca Heggie, you know, apparently he needs a couple of weeks to think about it. Now, he was calling out Brett May and saying that you know, he doesn't want to fight Brett because Brett's, you know, hasn't proved himself. But that's what, you know, I've stepped forward. I've proved myself. So we'll see. He said last time I checked, he said he's not interested in fighting anymore. You know, Luke Dyson, he's outpriced himself. You know, he doesn't, you know, win the rematch, has plastered him all over the place, and, you know, made it very clear that he's losing all the time. He's a bit like Bash now. You know, he shows up, gets punched. You know, he's on the floor within seconds. You know, the fight between Brett May and Bash, you know, I'd really, you know, I'm worried for Bash. I think that, you know, he must pass his best, and he's given us a load of great fights in his career and stuff like that. But, you know, he's his own man. You know, no one can tell him what to do. You know, I just wish him all the best, and I hope that he comes out fine. I think that Brett May, it's about time he actually showed up and done something, even if it is against Bash, you know. But I think that I've been in touch with Dougie Joyce before the big announcement of Brett May and Dougie Joyce. You know, I spoke to Dougie before. You know, he wanted to get me on one of his shows. He showed me one of his heavyweights. I was really interested. So, and now obviously Brett May's behind. You know, Brett May about one of his fighters. So that could be a great show. Do you know what I mean? I think that if Brett May wanted to really beat Bash and then come and fight somebody who can actually fight proper on Dougie Joyce, so that'd be great. You know what I mean? Why not? I've got a lot of offers out there. I've got quite a few fights lined up. You know, against big TikTokers, against my left, I have to do a rematch to defend my titles, my West Midland heavyweight titles. I've got a lot of fights lined up, and the other fights that have been offered are against people that just want to build their profile off the back of me, and I'm not interested. I want to fight a big name out there. I want to fight somebody that's already got a presence, somebody that's already accomplished something. You know what I mean? A bit like what Decca's saying. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've got a lot of fights booked up. I'm not short for fights. You know what I mean? I've got 2 this month. I've got 2 next month. I've got potentially a couple in October, a couple in September. No, November. Sorry. So, you know, I've got quite a lot going on. But you guys asking me to call people out, and it's pointless. This is why I don't really do it. But nobody wants it with headphone hench. Nobody wants to smoke, bro. Trust me. So if you guys got any suggestions of who'd be a good idea, and maybe get in contact with them, and then ask them to call me out, you know, because, you know, they don't want to smoke. Do you know what I mean? Like Dyson now, that's one of the biggest fights, the trilogy between me and him. But I think that, you know, the rematch proved that he's nowhere near the level, and you know, he's trying to act like that didn't exist. So the last thing he wants to do is get in the ring with me and get punched up again. You know, it's easy work. You know, he's a bit like Bash, isn't he? Well, you know, either way, you guys let me know what you think, who should call out next, or maybe go and contact some people and ask them to call me out and see what we can see what big fight we can make. But yeah, there's an update from Tommy Hench. Big love, everybody.